The most pathetic sight in this world is not a man in physical chains. It is a man who believes he is free while he serves 1,000 masters. Look at your life. Look at the last 24 hours. How many times did you move because an impulse told you to move? How many times did you pick up your phone because of a vibration? How many times did you feel a spike of envy or lust or anger and immediately act on it? You think you are the king of your own domain. But if you cannot say no to your own impulses, you are not a king. You are a subject. You are a slave to the chemicals in your blood. We live in an age designed to break men. We are bombarded by a machinery of desire. Every screen, every advertisement, every algorithm is engineered to trigger a lack within us. They tell us we are not enough until we have that car, that woman, that status. And we listen. We chase. We feel the hunger in our chest, a tightness that demands to be filled. We confuse this hunger with ambition. We tell ourselves we are driven. But there is a difference between a man who drives the chariot and a man who is dragged behind the horses. Most of us are being dragged. We get the thing we wanted, and for a moment, the noise stops. We feel a brief hit of relief. But how long does it last? An hour? A day? Then the emptiness returns, deeper than before, and the cycle starts again. We run on a treadmill of desire, sweating, bleeding, exhausting our spirit, yet moving nowhere. We have become soft. We cannot sit in a quiet room alone, because the silence forces us to face the void we are trying to fill. We are terrified of boredom. We are terrified of being uncomfortably still. So we feed the beast. We eat when we aren't hungry. We speak when we have nothing to say. We buy what we do not need. We are leaking power. Every unchecked desire is a crack in your armor. This is not a new war. The battle for self-command is the oldest war in human history. The greatest minds of the ancient world saw this trap clearly. They knew that a man who cannot control his own mind is dangerous mostly to himself. Seneca, a man who lived in the ultimate seat of power and saw the corruption of Rome firsthand, asked a simple, cutting question. Show me a man who is not a slave. One is a slave to lust, another to greed, another to ambition, and all men are slaves to fear. He understood that slavery is not just a condition of the body. It is a condition of the soul. When you cannot look away from a temptation, that temptation owns you. You are its servant. Epictetus, who was born a literal slave and crippled by a cruel master, found a freedom that no emperor could take away. He taught us the secret to breaking these chains. Freedom is not secured by the filling of men as desires, but by the removal of desire. Read that again. The world tells you to get more to be happy. Wisdom tells you to want less, to strip away the artificial needs, to realize that you require very little to be strong. And then there is Marcus Aurelius, the emperor. He could have had anything, any pleasure, any luxury, any vice within his reach. Yet he wrote to himself, reminding himself to see things as they truly are. He stripped the glamour away from desire. He looked at the finest wine and called it merely grape juice. He looked at the purple robes of royalty and saw only sheep's wool dyed in shellfish blood. He refused to be dazzled. He refused to let his mind attach value to things that could rot. He wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." You cannot be in harmony if you are constantly pulled apart by your wants. So how do we break the cycle? How do we regain the throne of our own minds? We do it through the practice of denial. You must introduce voluntary hardship into your life. When the urge to check the notification arises, you stare at the wall. You wait. You watch the feeling rise, scream for attention, and then, if you do not feed it, watch it die. When you crave the comfort food, you choose the hunger, not to punish yourself, but to prove to your body that you are in charge, not your stomach. This is not about living a joyless life. It is about becoming dangerous. A man who needs nothing is unstoppable. If you cannot be bought, if you cannot be seduced, if you cannot be addicted, what can the world do to you? Nothing. You become a fortress. The chaotic waves crash against you, but the stone does not move. This is the path of sovereignty. It is painful. Your old self will scream. It will beg for the dopamine hit. Let it scream. That is the sound of weakness leaving the body. If you are finding value in this, if you are tired of being led by the nose by your own impulses, take a moment to subscribe. We are building a legion of men who refuse to be slaves. Join us. Signal your intent. The next time you feel the sudden urge to consume, to react, to surrender, freeze. Look that desire in the eye. Recognize it for what it is. A test. Will you be the master, or will you be the dog waiting for scraps from the table of your own instincts? Seneca left us with the ultimate truth. No man is free who is not master of himself. Conquer your mind, or it will conquer you. The choice is made in every single moment. Make yours now.